Welcome, Taurus. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, and I pulled for you for the full moon in Libra, the Death card. And this is describing a phenomenal transformation you're having in your ability to establish your own well-being routines and habits. This is impacting the way that you work with others, the way you experience your own sense of well-being. And this is causing you to analyze, change your daily habits regarding your diet, exercise, environment that you work in or that you relax in, establishing a meditation practice for some of you, or a way that you actually spend sacred time with yourself. You're understanding that the way that you perhaps have structured your well-being practices, your health practices, are no longer serving you. Perhaps you have received a change in your physical environment or a diagnosis that has caused you to rethink the way that you're caring for yourself. This is important as for many of you, you are also having an opportunity to be a caretaker or considering the role of a caretaker. And this may be challenging you to look at the ways that you are, in fact, caring for yourself or others and on what basis you're doing that. You are looking at the changes in the world and recognizing that adjustments need to be made based on resources that do or do not exist for you or for others, for those you care for. You're really focused on being of service to others. You're really taking the emphasis off yourself, which is incredibly powerful for you. You're generally very self-contained. Even when caring or supporting others, it is often for you a reflection of your own ability to care for yourself. But you're now opening up to less of a dogmatic approach, less rigidity in the way that you understand that your needs are shifting and the needs of others may be different than yours. This is a general reading. It isn't going to resonate for all of you. If you're interested in personal reading information for that is in the description box below. Thank you to all of you that are familiar with me, that have known my work for a while in recognizing the change in setting as I give myself permission to do things a little differently. A lot of changes are occurring in my life as well. And I'm shifting the way that I'm feeling about this practice. So I appreciate the time that you're taking and the patience that you are showing me and all the support that you give me. In your social identity, the way others see you, the Queen of Wands shows you consistently confident, consistently full of passion, full of devotion, and a sense of care for those things that you are committed to, so that you are focused on your growth. You're focused on the confidence that you've gained as a result of your experiences, and you feel a sense of authority in your environment, whether that's in your working environment or your domestic one. You feel in control. You enjoy moving towards goals with determination, and that is a determination that you communicate to others in a way that is very magnetic, so that as you express your needs, others are anxious to provide you with the resources that you are claiming you need, but you are focused on getting what you desire. This is a critical piece of your ability to work with others. In some way, I see the attention being focused on your own well-being, as an expression of the way that you are better caring for others or allowing others to care for you. And this can be a little bit harder for you, Taurus, as you like to be in control of your own environment, and perhaps the inspiration you're gaining from others is requiring you to do things differently, to step outside your comfort zone. In the first house, the Nine of Wands is following up on this message of allowing others to guide you, instruct you in a better way to care for yourself, in improving on your emotional and domestic environment, the way that you work with others or the way that you serve others. You've done it a certain way for a very long time. In fact, you're incredibly hard driving, incredibly hard working, and you have thrown yourself at something that you want to accomplish over and over again with your whole heart, because that's how passionate you are, that's how strong you are, Taurus. When you think of the bull as a symbol, you will keep driving at something until it is accomplished. This is reflecting your determination to achieve something. And I do see that you're understanding something different about the way that this new effort can be accomplished with better results. Something that is the result of you leaving aside an old picture or old story you have about what you can do, should do, or will be doing at this stage in your life. Whatever stage that is, you have a story that has been upended, released, and you're rethinking it now, and you're understanding that really the inspiration has to come from you, not the directives of others. Just being in control isn't enough. The inspiration, the idea, the improvement you want to make must be owned by you. In the fourth house, the house of your social, your domestic environment, your roots, your family, your home, the Tower is indicating a way in which things are turning quite dramatically for you. This in part can be a result of a change that a family member is experiencing. Something that you designed or built isn't turning out the way that you thought it would. And this is challenging you in a way that feels like a catastrophe, feels like a loss, feels like a disruption in your well-ordered plan of achievement. In actuality, this Tower is the result of something that you have had the option to do in the past, but you didn't do it. It was something that needed to happen, and now you're being forced to do that. This can have to do with your health. Absolutely. This can have to do with the, again, change in your family structure, passing away, someone moving away, a loss, a divorce. Something is altered in a way that you must change the way you do things. But what you will find, or you may be finding now, is that this change is a blessing in disguise. You're getting closer and closer to, you see the opportunity to get closer to what you truly want as a result of this change, this disruption, this collapse of something that you have relied on for a while. And this change actually bodes a better way, a better plan, a better idea for you. In the seventh house of your significant relationships, this is the Nine of Swords, indicating that you are putting an end to suffering. And this feels connected to your domestic environment, where this change has precipitated something that in some ways was inevitable. In some ways, you see this as part of a long-standing pattern that had to come to an end. And until this something shifted dramatically, you would have maintained this pattern, even though you understood that it was past its due date, that it was no longer affecting or improving the situation as you believed it could, as you once believed it would prevent a loss that you've actually experienced. You're now ending this pattern. You recognize that this pattern, this way of perhaps interacting with a significant other, this can be anything from a spouse to a family member to a boss to a coworker. This pattern is one that you realize has just perpetuated suffering and a lack or unwillingness of someone else to take responsibility for their actions. You perhaps have prevented it, protected them in a way that is now coming to an end. And this comes as a relief in some ways. It's actually motivating you to attend to your health, your vitality, to move forward in a direction that you want to achieve something, in a direction of your desire. I hope this reading is resonating for you, Taurus. If so, please like this reading. Please share this with others if you feel inclined, and please subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And I pulled the word service. I feel good when I can help others. And it's so interesting that the full moon is highlighting this area of your life activity where you regularly support others or are part of a service project or effort in which you work with others. This is inclining me to believe that the necessity to help others has in some ways been a way of avoiding something that you must now do for yourself. And that doing for yourself can well be health related. It can be related to your domestic environment, needs for your home, your stability, or your security. But this is, you're no longer able to avoid something that you desire, but that you haven't been able to attend to because of your obligations or your desire to care for others. It's almost like the way that helping others helps us avoid the things we need to do for ourselves. And in the first house, the Nine of Wands is clarified by the Nine of Swords, a repeat. I do think this is emphasizing this idea that you have been attending to the needs of others to the exclusion of yourself. And this has been a pattern that helps you to avoid attending to something that will improve your life, something that will improve your confidence. And in fact, that as a result of being pulled into the needs of others, the desire to stay in control of how others are being cared for, is a way of, is a pattern that is no longer being effective in your service for others. So you see the pattern as actually not delivering the service that you hoped it would. You see it actually as something that is becoming increasingly destructive towards you. In the fourth house, the Tower is clarified by the Death card, also a repeat. So this is feeling like a loss of some sort in your family, perhaps the necessity required of someone passing away or a loss of something significant. Underneath that loss is a way in which you have transformed an old set of beliefs that led you to believe that you had to do what you have been doing. You had to take care of others, that they could not take care of themselves. They were not capable. They were not responsible in order to meet their own needs. And you're actually understanding that this, in fact, is not the case, that others not only can take care of themselves and consequently be more solicitous of your needs, but also that in the process you have neglected yourself. You have invested in something that eventually is collapsing, is falling apart because it no longer serves the needs of anyone, including you. So this is really about your transformation of this belief that it was your job to take care of everyone, be responsible for everything, and how that, I mean, this isn't the first time this has backfired on you, but perhaps in your home felt like a safe place where you were actually in control and could set up things the way you wanted them to be. And that included taking care of others in the way you wanted to take care of them, not necessarily in the way that they needed to be cared for. In the 7th house, the 9 of Swords is clarified by the Lovers. Okay. So this is about your experience in discriminating between what is good for you in the long term and what feels good. You perhaps have felt the ability to indulge yourself, or there have been times when taking care of others gave you permission to indulge yourself in some way that wasn't particularly healthy. And that was because you had to take care of someone else, so you could indulge in shopping or traveling, or I'm not sure what kind of habit that would necessitate this, but there's a way in which you justified what you did for others. And you're now understanding as a result of this experience that you actually haven't gotten any closer to the things that are important to you. As you are developing this relationship with yourself in lieu of your reliance on taking care of others, you're understanding that you have not been choosing you. It isn't an either or, but it has become in the past. You have sacrificed your needs to the service of others. And you're now in a position of understanding there may be a choice that you're making, that actually taking care of your needs is the priority that breaks this pattern. It's a pattern of sort of codependency, but the label is not important. It's a way of coping, and many of us do it. It's a way that arises from often our family of origin, from our formative years, where we learn that our job was, in fact, to care for others, to prioritize the needs of others in order simply to survive. And you are recognizing that that's a pattern that actually has masked a lot of negative habits, that you are willing to see them for what they are, to sacrifice those habits to achieve something greater. In the 10th house, the Queen of Wands is clarified by the Page of Wands. This is allowing yourself to not only explore those formative experiences that have inclined you to believe that it was your job to take care of others, but the things that you have sacrificed in your efforts to manage your, it looks like, domestic relationships and environment. So you have sort of hid your light under a bushel in some ways for whatever reason that necessitated you to sideline your creativity because you had to do all these other things. You had to get a job. You had to get a paycheck. You had to take care of those who relied on you. And so the inception, the instinct of that was of necessity, but it has become a pattern and a way of interacting with others that has sidelined your creativity, that has suppressed or repressed your inspiration, what motivates you, the things you're passionate about, the things you love, the things that are light you up and give you endless attention to creating new things for yourself in your own voice, telling a different story about your life. I'm going to finish up this reading with a crystal oracle card, and 2 have turned over, so I'm not going to take those. I'm going to keep going. I saw this first, so I'll take that. And this is the ruby, the beautiful ruby. This feels so relevant for you. And the key word is shine. It's time for me to shine. I love this, Taurus. This is your time. You're prepared now. You're ready. Those you've cared for are well on their way. They do not require you in the way they have in the past. It's your time to shine, to emerge, to glow. So if you've enjoyed this content, check out this content. And until next time, namaste.